I'm Ritika Shekhar. I hope I'm audible. I'm Ritika Shekhar. I work with UKTI, UK Trade and Investment. It's part of British Deputy High Commission in Chennai. Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me for the focus group discussion. And I think it is a very worthwhile topic to talk about in IT industry and IPRs in IT industry. IPRs play a very crucial role in protecting the knowledge economy, in developing a healthy source of creating a quality-oriented product. So I may not be wrong in saying that the IPRs are a bright product of a successful innovation. They also say that good fences make good neighbor, which is said by Robert Bosch. Therefore, with globalization and with the world shrinking into a global village, it is imperative for the business entities to bring in best practices into the system, good standards, and also basically we create a better future for the generations to come and years to come. Therefore, I may not be wrong in saying that it is time we look at IPRs or IPRs as an asset investment rather than just a capital investment. Then you may ask me, Ritika, both asset and capital are one and the same because capital is looked at as asset. But when we talk about capital investment, we look at it as capital investment being driven by ROI, and we look at achieving the break-even more often. But now I think it is time we look at it as long-term sustainability investment, which is an asset to any business entity today. And I would like to showcase you, with this background, I would like to showcase you the UK perspective and how UK harmonizes with trade and how we welcome you to do trade. Well, this is the body, Department of Business and Innovation Skills handles the IPR issues in UK, and the role is to ensure the property right and ensure the basic protection of an idea. Every business is driven by a basic idea, and it is a moral right to protect that idea. And in UK, we ensure this, and the Department of Business, in collaboration with IPO Office, does this very efficiently. There are many examples of how UK handles this harmonization issues. And while we are talking about harmonization in this world of technology, is that will one size work for all the countries? Will one law hold good for all the countries? And will one patent work or hold good for all the countries is a major question that is being contemplated in the political scenario. But I'm here to tell that harmonization is more with the trade, because that is the commercial aspect of what we do in day-to-day life. I feel harmonization efforts are far more government-driven, and India, the government is driven by the business. So if we have to bring in best practices and hold good and create a good scenario for future, I think it is for the business to adapt best practices and bring in the quality-oriented products into the system and hold knowledge rights up. Well, with this, I would also like to say that with support and with good legal structure, I may not be wrong in saying UK is one of the best places to hold the business because it gives you a good environment. I'm sorry if this slide. I shared this slide with you probably because it talks about UK as an interface to the global market. It talks about UK being a headquarter to European community. It talks about the proper political legal system and the stable legal system and other business scenarios. So it basically focuses on facilitating a good business environment for business to be conceived and conducted. And I may not be wrong in saying that UK offers a best platform for these products or services to be patented for the knowledge economy to exist basically. These are the basic initiatives which UK has taken in recent times. There was an independent committee which was headed by Professor Hargreaves, which says that which has recommended about 10 basic amendments to UK government, and it accepted it. And it is basically it has accepted the usage of technology, the digital copyrights, and buying of licensed products, and having most of these points or recommendations are focused on bringing down the baggage which the business tends to carry. The reason, when I say baggage, it could be that every business runs on some technology. The licensing of technology is quite important because you go in the right way, you conduct your business in the right way. It helps in long-term sustainability. So when you when you download probably MS Office and Adobe through an open office format or through an open source, what happens is you do the business, but over a period of time, it's a wrong done wrong and you carry the baggage. It is imperative in the environment where the legal system is changing, where the policies are changing, where we're talking about strong licensing and copyrights and trademarks and the patents. It is imperative to have strong technological support. It is imperative to have a good quality product and conduct your business on a good model, so as to give a quality output, so as to hold your business and stand in the competitive world. I may not be wrong in also saying that a strong economy is driven by a strong knowledge economic base. And I work for UKTI, and UK government does this and facilitates entrepreneurs on the various levels. Basically, facilitate trade between a country A and country B. For example, I am a trade promotion. I belong to a trade promotion council between UK and India. I promote trade in ICT technology. When I say ICT technology, we talk about licensed softwares. We talk about taking in an FTA room. We talk about having a SME moving from here to UK in an inward investment perspective. In addition, UK looks at various avenues and promotes intellectual investments into the country through various schemes driven by the government again. For example, the Scotland government gives 50% of the training charges you hold on your employee, basically developing the skills, the knowledge system, and the knowledge base. This is one living example or a striking example of how government can facilitate trade. The reason why I'm always comparing UK and India and showcasing this is, it is time we need to adapt best practices into the system. It is time we need to hold the system and look for future. Being more prepared is more important these days. And like ma'am said, being aware of the external environment and factors is another imperative and major factor in doing a business and holding a successful business. Holding a successful long-term business. Again, another major change in near future would be the low carbon perspective. Entire world today is talking about climate change and global concerns. In India, we are going to drop a roadmap only by 2017. So maybe by 2020 we will have a strong policy structure. In that case, it would be an overnight change, just like our IT paper filing. If our business has to be competitive, and if we have to have a utility and a long-term standing, and if we have to be more sellable in global world, because the world today is a global village, and if somebody has to come and invest in us, it is for us to bring in a good practice in the system. It is for us to be more prepared with to bring in emission control and bring in a lot of things. When you ask me the pick up low carbon and emissions, how is it related to IPR? Every single idea you generate today, if it is process concerned, process oriented, it reduces the energy and turnaround time. And when it does that, you're more sellable tomorrow. So technically, commercially, you have to be prepared for tomorrow's changes for today. Low carbon is one such example, and it's a rising awareness which we have to look for. Lastly, you can ask me, why is that we're always talking about rights? Why is that we're fighting about it? Is it inherent with us? It is definitely inherent with the world. Tomorrow I may not be wrong in saying it is one world and we're going to have one single currency. Maybe I'm I'm being a visionary kind of a person. But I think with the change, with people traveling so much, with extended awareness and external exposure, it is important for us to look at a single, and it is imperative for us to protect our idea. And technically, this idea sustains our business and business continuity. And in trade, in reality, I may not be right person to talk about the counterfeiting and the piracy. But yes, we need to be known for our quality, and UK does that. And most of the licensing and the revenue it generates, the revenue generated in last year was about 7.9 billion pounds, which is massive. And by 2020, we expect to generate another 2 billion pounds on an average in a year, which is a massive revenue generation model which government is supporting. Imagine if this is done by business. Imagine if it is done by every entrepreneur. The kind of revenue it generates for your own company is massive. It's huge, and it is a very sustainable model. Therefore, I believe UK will stand as an example, and because we've taken most of our standards from UK, and it is, you can see the live example of how these things are implemented and the results of it. So it could be an input in and input out kind of a model, and technically it is any economy, not just UK, any economy will benefit and should be driven by a knowledge base. That is when it can sustain in the global scenario. And India has always been a country with a basic knowledge base. We are the ones who have given the world the numeric 0. And the 0 before 1 or after 1 makes a lot of difference. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.